You know that feeling when you sprint up the stairs and your heart's pounding out of your chest? That's your circulatory system working overtime. And honestly, it's pretty amazing right now. As you're watching this, your heart is pumping about. 5 liters of blood through your body every single minute. That's roughly 1.25 gallons. Every minute, without you even thinking about it. Today, we're diving into the human circulatory system. Basically, your body's delivery service that keeps every cell alive. We'll break down how your heart actually works, what blood is really doing besides just ... existing, and why this system is literally the difference between life and death. Let's get into it. So first up, the heart. This fist-sized muscle sits slightly left of center in your chest, and it's been beating non-stop since before you were born. Think about that. No breaks, no vacation days, just constant work. The heart here's the cool part. Your heart isn't just one pump. It's actually 2 pumps working side by side. The right side handles used blood that's low on oxygen and high on carbon dioxide. It pumps this blood to your lungs where it picks up fresh oxygen and dumps the CO to you then. Breathe out, the left side. That's the powerhouse. It takes that freshly oxygenated blood from the lungs and launches it throughout your entire body. And I mean, launches. The left ventricle is seriously muscular because it needs to create enough pressure to push blood the way to your toes and back up again so the flow goes. Right atrium receives used blood, sends it to right ventricle, which pumps to lungs. Lungs refresh the blood, send it to left atrium, then left ventricle blasts it to the body. Rinse and repeat. About 100,000 times per day. Blood vessels, the highway. Network now, your heart is useless without roads to travel on. That's where blood vessels come in. Think of your circulatory system like a city's transportation network. You've got 3 main types of roads. Arteries are the highways. They're thick, muscular, and built to handle high pressure. They carry blood away from the heart. And here's a common misconception. People think arteries always carry oxygenated blood, and veins carry deoxygenated blood. Not quite. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. Veins carry it toward the heart. The pulmonary artery actually carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Mind blown, right? Veins are like the return routes. They're thinner, less muscular, but they have these awesome one-way valves that prevent blood from flowing backwards. Because unlike arteries that have heart pressure pushing blood along, veins rely partly on your muscles, squeezing them to push blood back up. That's why sitting still for too long isn't great. Your leg veins need movement to do their job. And then you've got capillaries, the tiny side streets. These are 1 cell thick, so thin that red blood cells have to literally squeeze through single file. This is where the actual exchange happens. Oxygen and nutrients diffuse out to cells, waste products diffuse back in. This is the whole point of the system. Drop a comment below if you've ever had your legs fall asleep from sitting too long. That's partially a circulation thing. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that weird tingling sensation. Blood, the delivery substance. So what exactly is blood? About 55% is plasma, basically liquid with dissolved proteins, nutrients, hormones, and waste products. It's the delivery medium. The other 45% is cells, mostly red blood cells, about 25 trillion of them in your body. These guys are packed with hemoglobin, an iron-containing protein that binds oxygen. Each red blood cell lives about 120 days, which means your bone marrow is constantly making millions of new ones every second. Your body is a factory that never closes. White blood cells are your immune system's soldiers. Way less common than red blood cells, but absolutely critical. They hunt down bacteria, viruses, and other threats, and platelets. These are the emergency repair crew. When you get a cut, platelets rush to the scene and start the clotting process. They're basically tiny band-aids floating in your bloodstream. How it all works together, let's trace one oxygen molecule's journey. You breathe in. That oxygen crosses into your blood in the lungs and binds to hemoglobin in a red blood cell. The left side of your heart pumps that cell through an artery, let's say toward your brain. The artery branches smaller and smaller until our red blood cell squeezes through a capillary next to a brain cell. The oxygen pops off, diffuses through the capillary wall, and enters that brain cell, which uses it to make energy. Now the red blood cell picks up carbon dioxide waste and starts the journey back. Through increasingly larger veins, back to the right side of the heart, out to the lungs, where it releases that CO2 for you to exhale. The entire loop takes about 1 minute. Here's something wild to think about. Your circulatory system is so extensive that if you laid out all your blood vessels end to end, they'd stretch about 60,000 miles. That's more than twice around Earth. What questions do you still have about how this system works? Let me know in the comments and I might cover it in the next video. When things go wrong, understanding circulation helps you understand a lot of health issues. High blood pressure. That's when the force of blood against artery walls is too strong, which can damage vessels over time. Heart attacks happen when an artery feeding the heart muscle itself gets blocked, usually by a buildup of fatty plaques. No blood flow means heart cells die. Anemia is when you don't have enough healthy red blood cells, so your body can't deliver enough oxygen. That's why people with anemia feel constantly tired. This is also why exercise is so good for you. It strengthens your heart muscle, helps your body create new capillaries, and keeps your vessels flexible. So let's recap. Your heart is a double pump that beats 100,000 times a day. Your blood vessels form a 60,000-mile network of highways and side streets. And your blood carries everything your cells need while hauling away the trash. Why does this matter? Because this system is literally keeping you alive right now. Every thought you're thinking, every movement you're making, it's all powered by this continuous delivery of oxygen and nutrients. Understanding how your body works helps you take better care of it. Your circulatory system has been working non-stop since before you were born and will keep going for decades more. That's pretty incredible when you stop to think about it. If this helped clarify how your body's highway system works, hit that like button and subscribe for more biology content. And seriously, drop your questions in the comments. Your curiosity drives what I create next. Stay curious.